Whether you're finishing up school or in the hunt for a new job after the health crisis, we could all use a little professional help when it comes to our resumes. So many things have changed over the years, so we wanted to get some top-notch help. We're excited to talk with Mir Garvy, based here in Raleigh. She's been making resumes sparkle virtually for years. Welcome. Thanks for helping us out today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we're going to get straight into it because we have a bunch of different questions, common mistakes and issues that we're all facing, just some really good information to pass along. So to start off, is one resume going to cut it, or should we have different versions of our resumes when we're job searching?
That's a great question. So if you're applying for jobs that are fairly similar, so same level, same function, same industry, then one resume is usually going to work just fine. If you want to apply for two jobs that are fairly different from one another, or if you want to apply for, say, a safety job and a stretch job, then it makes sense to have two resumes. But a good resume writer will help you think through when it makes sense to have two resumes, or whether or not you can make one resume work for the various jobs you're planning to apply for.
All right, let's talk experience. If someone has a gap on their resume, how should they address that?
Well, this is common, and I think it has to do mostly with the evaluation of pros versus cons, which is always kind of an individual case-to-case basis. So again, work with your writer to come up with the right answer. However, just in general, if you have a gap of 6 months or less, you don't necessarily need to address that in any way. That's not an uncommon job search. If you have multiple months or even years, then yes, address the gap. You could put something very straightforward, just a line or two, full-time parent, 2010 to 2017, and leave it at that. Or again, if you work with a writer who knows how to ask good questions, it may be that through probing, questioning, and sort of brainstorming, you can elevate what you did during your career break along the lines of volunteer work or part-time jobs, so that we're showing that you were active and staying engaged and learning new skills during your time away from your professional career.
Great. So when should someone leave a job off of their resume?
So again, kind of going back to that 6-month rule, if you have a job that lasts less than 6 months and it's not really related to the job you're trying to apply for, it's just a good idea to leave it off, because if you include it, you're sort of raising questions about, well, why didn't it work out? So again, 6 months and less, that could be a typical job search. So that's probably a good sign that you could just leave that job off your resume.
All right, one final question. Are references still important to have listed on our resume?
No, in fact, those have gone away entirely. Even the little blurb, references available upon request, that's not customary to include on a resume anymore either. What is important are really recent, solid, and hopefully a number of good recommendations on LinkedIn. So if you don't have any LinkedIn recommendations, or you have some but they're older, now is a good time to reach out to your network, ask for recommendations. LinkedIn makes it really easy. Or you could give some recommendations and just hope to, that your friends will return the favor. If you have any questions about how to ask for a LinkedIn recommendation or how to do it the right way, just give me an email, and I'm happy to share some advice on that.
Of course, if people have more questions, how can they get in touch with you?
You can visit our website, jobmarketsolutions.com. Thanks for having me.